Exactly.
A lot of the things, they give me what they want firsthand, and then I do what I can with what they want. Like with some of the directors for like She Kills Monsters, they requested a lot of layers for the set, but we have to work with what we have, so I worked with what I could do. We didn't have a solid direction for the show that we did. I kind of designed the set on the spot. I had an idea, I rolled with it. A lot of the things has just been rolling with the punches we get. Things change, the schedules change. We didn't figure out we could put up the stage until the week before the show, so.
Yeah, they gave us like a list of ideas that they had for the show, and then we looked at them and came up with our own ideas, and then we had a meeting and we all kind of brought our ideas together. And we did have to kind of edit some ideas because these two shows are very different, so we just kind of like combined the two.
As the supervisor for the one acts, I'm more of a coach on the side, offer my advice. I get us started by setting some meeting dates and talking about the ground rules and asking some questions early on to get the different director groups talking with each other and making decisions. Do a lot of reminding and prompting. Because I've been through the process, right, so many times here at school with the other shows that we've worked on, that there are a lot of little small pieces that a young director wouldn't think about. So just dropping some little reminders at the appropriate times to keep things moving. It's really, my job's to facilitate, to create the conditions under which they're able to do what they need to do in order to launch a successful production.
What variables cause them to change is what we have at like the shop, what all the wood we currently have, and like when people are available to supervise us, because we can't really use power tools by ourselves. Like a chop saw, we can't use unsupervised. So a lot of building the set has been around our actual tech director's schedule, but building the actual set, this went up in like a couple minutes. Like 20 minutes.
Well, for the show it took us like a week because we only really had a week, and it really like depends on like how committed people are and like how many people we have at the meetings and like how on task we are, and that's really it, honestly.
Willingness to learn, right? At the end of the day, it's about a willingness to jump in and try something different, because every show demands a different set of skills. We may be doing some sculpting. If we're our last show, the musical, we built a big tree and silo, and a lot of that was sculpting with chicken wire and burlap and goopy glue kind of substance. A lot of general construction. We've got lighting, we've got sound that we're responsible for. So a willingness to learn and understand some of the concepts that go there, and then a desire to work, right? Understanding that the little contributions we make during the day on maybe hanging a door or right building a platform, that down the road that's going to turn into one small piece of a much bigger production, the whole concept. So being able to see where the small tasks that we do daily kind of add up to the big picture at the end.
The three tech directors, or student-directed tech directors, me, Gabby Donova, and Lee Bishop. I'd say the person pushing all of us forward, I kind of come up with a lot of the ideas for what to do. They kind of send out schedules. If I can't think of any ideas, they're always there to back me up. But a lot of the time, it's been me telling people what to do specifically. If they have questions, they come to me.
I'd say probably Kade. Kade is like very kind of, I don't know, they're not afraid to yell at people if they do something wrong or if they like need to stay on task or something. So I feel like they just really they're good at directing people.
It's hard for something like student-directed one acts when you have two shows, and when both shows are relatively different in terms of their physical demands for space. So a lot of times the goal in a production like the One Acts is really about creating a usable space that's a little bit generic, that can be transformed with a set piece or a piece of furniture or some props into a lot of different spaces. So I think for One Acts now what they were looking at was spaces to create some levels, to create some pictures, with cast at different heights, and to create some areas that could be separate or sectioned off from each other so that you can travel through space and time, but to do it in a way that was generic enough, right, that both shows could kind of adapt to or adopt to that space.
Just being behind the scenes, like seeing how all of it like comes together at the end, I guess.
But also, I'm a big fan of designing the lighting, which was really difficult on a really short time period, but it was a lot of fun for me to play with.